You're listening to the Trading Bear podcast. This is episode 55, Daily Show.
Mystery player. Position.
Midfield.
Start price.
85p.
Current price.
92p.
PB.
8p.
MB.
17p.
Dividend yield.
27.5%.
Welcome back, thanks for joining in. In today's news, the All England finals take place this week. No, I'm not talking about the tennis at Wimbledon, but rather the Europa League final between Arsenal and Chelsea, and then the Champions League final between Tottenham and Liverpool. Kane is seemingly fit then for the later match, but the price of Hazard has dropped ahead of the former match, amid speculation he will be formally unveiled as a Real Madrid player on Monday the 3rd of June next week. Hazard is currently priced at £4.73, at time of recording pre-match. I expect he may well be featuring in the forward section in the next episode. Elsewhere, Sergio Ramos's future at Real Madrid remains far from certain. Earlier on in the week, Ramos met with Madrid president Florentino Perez, asking to be let go on a free transfer so he could sign a lucrative contract with an unnamed Chinese club, which Perez swiftly rejected. The two have had a frosty relationship since Madrid's Champions League defeat to Ajax, although a report today stated that Ramos would be allowed to leave if Madrid received a strong economical proposal, i.e. a fee for Ramos. And lastly, Tottenham's £53 million bid for 23-year-old Argentinian star Giovanni Lo Celso has been rejected by Real Betis, with the Seville-based club holding out for €70 million, with a host of clubs including Manchester United and Atletico Madrid also thought to be keen. Let's move on to today's risers and fallers now then. While the general market was fairly flat today, with one notable big player exception we'll get into shortly, there was a slightly bizarre moment in the morning around about 10 AM UK time today. One investor seemingly injected close to £65,000 into the platform, but not on players many would have predicted. The three main beneficiaries were Kevin De Bruyne, who rose 10p to take him to £2.32, Rhian Brewster, the Liverpool youngster, who went up 7p to take him to £2.70, and Matthijs de Ligt, who went up a further 7p to take him to £2.97, and with that rise surpassing Virgil van Dijk's price, making de Ligt the most expensive defender on the game. That price now looks extremely unstable, and anything but a move to Manchester United now looks very shaky for his price. Indeed, even a move to United would have to go down very well for him to sustain that price in the short to medium term. Something to think about then, should you hold him. And we stay with Manchester United for today's biggest faller, and yes, of course, it's Paul Pogba. No real new news to talk about with regards to Pogba, and rather it's just once again the fact he hasn't generated a headline this week, which is to be expected given the All English finals in European football. For those holders who are perhaps new to the platform and are worried about his price, I suggest you A. sit down, take a breath and carry on, prices go down as well as up, and B. have a read of the roundtable discussion linked to my Twitter page at TradingBear1. Now, there's been some talk of market manipulation by a few, with the theory that a group of high wealth traders are listing Pogba to artificially lower his price to create panic before then buying more and then unlisting again. Now, while Adam Cole has acknowledged in the last week's Q&A on Twitter that there has been some evidence of this previously, with some users banned, I don't think this is the reason for the drop. Certainly there will be listing as opposed to selling Pogba, but put simply, when a player's out of the news, not creating any value in that exact moment, then the likelihood is that that player will drop. Myself personally, I expect Pogba to continue to be out of the news in the next few days, but upon media madness starting this weekend, he'll start to pick up the dividends once more and his price will slowly creep up again. We go into the episode's prospect player now, a player who I feel could do well in the near future and attract buys. For this episode we head into central England and the resting place of King Richard III. For in the city of Leicester we find a young, creative attacking midfielder that I myself had the pleasure of watching live numerous times, and it's England under-21 international James Maddison. Already priced at £2.22, it's often hard to judge these players currently in the £2 to £3 price bracket, but Maddison is one I feel will have a real breakout moment next season, on the back of a largely impressive debut season in the EPL this season round. Now that breakthrough moment may even come sooner as England head into the Euro Under-21 Championships in a couple of weeks' time on the 16th of June. He has the perfect game for the PB matrix system, and with Brendan Rodgers now holding the reins at the King Power Stadium, I expect Leicester's possession to flourish. Mix in a great free kick taker with set-piece accuracy from corners, and I'll be very surprised to see Leicester hold on to him this time next year. If he continues his rapid development, like he has so far every year in his career that has seen him so far taking Coventry, Aberdeen and Norwich, then I see no reason as to why he won't make a very good case for being in the senior England side for the 2020 Euros next summer. Let's have a look at some of your questions now. And this episode's first question comes via the main forum, with Ollie asking, "My portfolio is currently worth £750. Do you think it's worth investing in media players for the Summer Media Madness promotion? Or am I better investing off elsewhere as most of the main MB hitters are expensive to buy?" So then Ollie, with a recent slump in some media magnates like Pogba, Neymar and Ronaldo, this has been a common question and theme across the social platforms recently. All along the lines of, I only have X amount of cash, I make better returns on the lower end of the market than I would holding the more expensive media players. And this statement is certainly true, by the way. The lower your overall portfolio, the less I would gear it towards the more reliant, consistent and hence more expensive dividend returners. However, there's a reason why you see all those screenshots of huge dividend profits on Twitter with huge portfolios. The premium end of players require time. You can't jump on and off them in a few hours or days like you can in the lower market. You have to take yourself away from the 24-hour profit loss indicator on your trading screen and look at the bigger picture. I firmly expect the market to have reacted in a couple of weeks' time, once media madness has finally kicked in. If the big players are still dropping by that point, then that's the time to ask more questions, but for now, sit tight and wait. Going back to Ollie's original question though, any portfolio under £1,000, then no, perhaps I wouldn't invest in media players. Although for the risk takers amongst you, I still think Ronaldo offers value. The second question arrives via Index Gain, with Dan wanting to know the following. I know you support Norwich Trading Bear, and was wondering what kind of style of play do they employ? Is it suitable for PB? What about the other promoted teams, Sheffield United and Aston Villa? So to answer this question, Dan, I'm going to employ the help of the work of Mark O'Hare on Twitter. Now, I don't know Mark personally at all, but he works as a freelance football betting analyst and has produced some nice statistical work to help with your question. As a Norwich supporter, I can obviously give you a conclusive answer on the style of play that Daniel Farke operates under, but I've only watched a handful of games for both Sheffield and Aston Villa, and hence where Mark's work on stats comes in. If you check out my Twitter page, you can see 9 areas of statistical data for each club, with each area having a ranking of 1st to 24th. For example, Sheffield United were only ranked 9th for total possession, despite finishing second in the league. Norwich alternatively were ranked 4th, indicating perhaps that Norwich will be more suitable towards the PB metric. The Blades, however, were second in the league for expected goals from open play and overall touches in the box, suggesting that their players may be more attractive for IBD than Norwich, or even Aston Villa. Incidentally, the team that ranked first for every single metric here were the team that narrowly missed out on promotion, Leeds United. But going back to your question, Dan, and Norwich's style of play, well, we adopt a possession-based game with a high press, similar to that of Manchester City, rather than perhaps a Klopp's Liverpool team. Now, whether of course Norwich can do that next year against much better players remains to be seen. And that's it for this episode. You can download and subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify and Podbean. Head over to the website to send in a question, tradingbearpodcast.com. Alternatively, you can find me on Index Gain or Twitter under the name Trading Bear. Thanks for listening and stay tuned for the Mystery Player.
Mystery player. Position.
Midfield.
Start price.
85p.
Current price.
92p.
PB.
8p.
MB.
17p.
Dividend yield.
27.5%.
Trading Bear. Today's mystery player was Juventus Welsh wizard, Aaron Ramsey.